about Canelo Alvarez when it comes to the bodywork.
Todo lo que está tirando son golpes duros ahora.
The tide beginning to turn here. In the last couple of rounds, the crowd firmly behind Canelo Alvarez. Canelo turns 24 in 6 days, but possesses a maturity that belies his youth. It's been a spirited affair thus far.
Meanwhile, this is a pivotal round because it's very close. Beautiful uppercut by Canelo Alvarez. Bueno, ¿qué pasó ahí?
¡Llévalo a la escuela, mijo! Is he cut? Yeah, he is.
Oh, cut over the right eye of Erislandy Lara.
Ya está cortado, ya está cortado. Ya está cortado, vamos!
Blood streaming down the right side of Lara's face as Canelo digs away at the body.
Come on, keep moving, keep moving.
That's a fight-changing punch in many ways. They thought in the Lara camp that he...
And now, he is considered one of the best boxers of, you know, our generation. With only 28 fights, 24 2-2, 14 KOs, Erislandy, the American Dream, Lara. But did he really accomplish the American Dream? Now, this, being on this stage, on pay-per-view, in the United States, fighting in Las Vegas against Canelo Alvarez at that point in time, and still the king of pay-per-view since Mayweather is gone. You know, I don't know how you count the Mayweather-McGregor. Well, actually, Mayweather was still around during this, but you get what I'm saying. But what has he been doing since? Let's go look at his resume and let's go talk about it. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. All the links to my social media are right down below in the description box. 34 years old, southpaw, 5'9". He's fighting Terrell Gausha. Now, some people were giving me some shit saying I was pronouncing his name wrong. I interviewed him. I'm going to be uploading that video, about maybe 2 or so videos after this one. It's Gausha. It's Gausha, Terrell Gausha. All right? He has been in 2 very controversial fights, his last 2 fights. One in which he would knock down and people are like, oh, his chin is suspect. And another which was a controversial unanimous decision. You know? No, majority decision, correct, against Steven Martinez. He is ranked by the WBA, but the question people are having is, why not Demetrius Andrade? Why not Charlo? Why not Hurd? These guys are fighting on the same card, for crying out loud. Well, this Showtime card on October the 14th, I'm confirmed I'm going to be there. That's about a week from today. Is a tournament of sorts. Remember, you have, in the 3 sanctioning bodies, right? 4 sanctioning bodies. The WBC, the WBA, the WBO, and the IBF. You have 3 of the champions in the 154-pound division fighting. Erislandy Lara, WBA Super World. Charlo, actually, expect Demetrius Andrade to drop his WBA world title because he's fighting at 160 now. So you can say Lara is the only champion at, I mean, fuck, I got to figure out how to fix that brightness. Lara is the only champion at 154 pounds for the WBA. You have Jermell Charlo, who's the WBC champion at 154. You have Jarrett Hurd, who's the IBF champion at 154. You have Miguel Cotto, who's retiring later on this year, December the 2nd. Right now it's October the 8th, 2017. Who's the WBO champion, who's not going to fight any of these guys. He's rumored to be fighting Saddam Ali. So, logically, you would think that they're putting these 3 guys on this card, right? A lot of people are asking, why is Erislandy Lara even headlining this card? The headline should be Trout or Hurd or Trout, in my opinion, you know, or Charlo Lubin. You know, and if you look at what Erislandy Lara has done for us lately, he's only getting this headlining name because of his name. And because he is the A-side, and because he does command at least $1 million or so a fight. I'm interested to see how much he's going to be making in this fight. I'm interested to see how all these purses are going to break out, because as we noticed over the last year, especially, PBC hangman purses have been, you know, I can't say significantly, but lower. So, who's Terrell Gausha? Hey, listen, Erislandy Lara should have no problems with this dude, but at the same time, he's still undefeated. despite how you look at, you know, his resume of there not literally being nothing there. And I mean, Terrell Gausha, what we're going to do is we're going to go look at his resume. As you can see, 20-0 with 9 KOs. These last 2 fights, he got knocked down, you know, in this fight. You know, it was a flash knockdown. He recovered well against Luis Hernandez. And then the Steven Martinez, let me zoom in a little bit more. The Steven Martinez was a bit controversial. But if you look, outside of Luis Grajada, I don't know any of these fighters. You know, I may have seen them maybe fight or probably get beat up by other people before, but there's no significant, you know, names to whereas if you look at Erislandy Lara, and let's look what he's done since the Canelo fight. Now, he's been around. We've been talking about it on my live stream that Erislandy Lara has been around for a long-ass time, yo. He's been around and hasn't really done anything significant. So you have to wonder if he's one of those fighters that's just in this for the sport, you know, in the payday, or is he in it, you know, to try to be great? Because if I have to ask, because I'm wondering if he's pushing his promoter enough or his manager, Al Heyman, or whoever's Al Heyman. You know, is he pushing his team enough to get him big fights? And like, no, you know, I want this, just like he did with Canelo when he called him out. You know, in that it was awkward. You know, after Canelo had stopped Alfredo Angulo, if you don't remember, it was awkward. But he still, you know, got it done. So if you have to think, right? Let's look since Canelo, right? Ishe Smith, Delvin Rodriguez, Jean Zavek. This was, by the way, the last fight. He's been cursing PBC also. This Jean Zavek fight, if I'm correct, was the last PBC fight on ESPN, correct? Wasn't it outside and like some, you know, and it was like raining and empty? It was like a horrible looking, like, you know, like it was horrible looking. You know, Venus Monterosian, a rematch that was 2 years too late. Yuri Foreman on the last episode of PBC on Bounce, PBC on Spike. You know, and Yuri Foreman had that bum ass knee. It wasn't a very good looking performance, man. And I'm not talking about like Lara. It's just that these fights have not meant anything. And if you look at it, Canelo fight was over 3 years ago. And we all know what Canelo has done since then. Now, say what you want about who won that fight or not. It's not about that. It's about, you know, Lara's at a point in time right now where he's 34, right? Yeah, he's 34. He's seen, you know, you would think that he's much older. It seems like he's been around so long. But, you know, just because he's been fighting on HBO and everything since what? What's Carlos Molina, right? You know, Carlos Molina, you know, Paul Williams. And if you look at, you know, Venus Monterosian, and if you look at the 2 losses, even though controversial, and the 2 draws, even though controversial, it's always because in Lara's big fights, he just doesn't do enough to secure the win. But he is the Cuban school, right? He's been the pioneer of this generation of Cuban school. You know, he's the reason why a lot of these millennials and everything look at Cuban school boxers are being like boring. It's Erislandy Lara. Now, he's not boring. It's just that like he doesn't go that extra mile to get his opponents out of here when it comes to his big fights. You know? And we've learned that's what you got to do with Canelo when it comes to Vegas. You know, Erislandy Lara told us that. So now he's saying he wants, you know, the big fights and everything. He wants the Golovkins and all that. But does he really? You know? Does he really? So, we're going to be talking to Erislandy Lara. I don't know if I'm going to the press conference. You know, I'm trying to do a different approach with covering these fights. So, I'm looking for help, you know, in the New York area. You know, I'm getting everything situated. There's compensation and everything for you. If you're interested in helping out and going to fights, you know, and going to events, be professional about it. Send me an email at editor, that's editor at fightView360.com. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to be professional about it, and I want you to understand, just don't be emailing me to myself, okay, well, what's the pay looking like? And it's like if you've never done nothing in this before. You see what I'm saying? You got to know that when you're going to this, for one, I'll tell you, I don't make no money off of this. So if you're getting paid, it's going to be coming directly out of my pocket. You know, there's not enough money in this. But so what I'm saying is, don't be coming to me talking about, well, what's the money going to be like and everything if you're not going to be going there to grind. I'm looking for people who are trying to grow and understand that I have a vision in media, and I know that it can work if we're all on the same page. So if you want to eat, it's one of those things like, well, listen, you got to starve right now for a little bit. Don't get me wrong, you're not going to starve. You're going to be taken care of. But understand, it's like, in the grand scheme of things, if we all work together, this shit is going to work out. You know, I can do more damage, as I told you, from here now, especially with all the, you know, advancements I've made. I can do more damage from here than being at fights. The goal is not for me to go to fights, you know, in the future. The goal for me is to send people to fights, and guess what? While I'm here doing this, I'll be showing the footage on these videos that you're sending me. And therefore, credibility is going to be through the stratosphere. It's like, not only will we be there at the events, but then I'm going to be here reporting on. You can't stop that. You know? So it's like, this is one of those situations where it's like, get down and lay down, because the wheels are already been in motion, and I've been doing this for quite some time now, and things are finally coming together. We're changing the way boxing is being reported on YouTube. I've said it many times before. We're not here to catch our competitors. We're not here to try to, play the subscriber game. We're trying to leapfrog. We're already in our own bracket. You know, we got a full live show in 1080p now, showing highlights, everything leading up to the fight, hyping up fights and everything. You know, our goal is to sell fights. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.